There's a window between the night and day that most of the world just sleeps away. The streets are empty, no one's car has moved, and everything is quiet in its groove. The coffee maker's the first thing awake, a small rebellion that I always make before the phones begin and inboxes fill, before anyone's awake and everything is still. This hour is mine and no one else's claim. The world outside has no particular name. Before anyone's awake, before the noise begins, before the day decides what shape it's in, before anyone's awake, I have the world, the quiet streets, the dark, the flag unfurled of my own morning, my own private space. Before anyone's awake is my favorite place, where I'm not anyone's anything yet, just me and the guitar and the dark. The neighbor's dog won't bark for an hour more. The paper's on the step outside the door. The sky is barely remembered to turn gray. The night is given up but taken all day. I play a chord so soft it barely rings, the kind of note that only this hour brings. Not meant for anyone, not even me, just sound released into the dark and free. Before the day assembles all its weight, this hour is early and this hour is great. Before anyone's awake, before the noise begins, before the day decides what shape it's in, before anyone's awake, I have the world, the quiet streets, the dark, the flag unfurled of my own morning, my own private space. Before anyone's awake is my favorite place, where I'm not anyone's anything yet, just me and the guitar and the dark. I think of all the others who are up, the bakers and the nurses with their cups of vending machine coffee halfway through the night shift that the day shift never knew. We're a quiet tribe, the pre-dawn congregation, no membership card, no formal invitation, just the hour in the dark and the still, and everyone who couldn't sleep there fell. Before anyone's awake, before the noise begins, before the day decides what shape it's in, before anyone's awake, I have the before the world got its hands on me, before anyone's awake, I still exist as the uncategorized, the undismissed. Before anyone's awake, this is my time, guitar strings in a quiet room. Before anyone's awake, I bloom. Before anyone's awake, almost over now. Before anyone's awake. Taking inventory at 3 a.m. Checking what I've got and what I've spent. The relationships I let fall out of date. The goals I put on hold until too late. At 3 a.m. the books are always honest. No spin, no filter, nothing to accomplish. 3 a.m. inventory, taking stock of me, everything I am and everything I'll be. 3 a.m. inventory, by the light I own, every debt I carry, and the seeds I've sown. This isn't self-destruction, this is just the check. That 3 a.m. performs without the wrecked defenses that I used to get through day. 3 a.m. inventory's the honest way. Line item, things I've said that I regret. Line item, all the things I can't forget. Line item, all the ways I've fallen short. Line item, all the beauty I have caught. The column on the right's not empty though. There's more to count than just the things I owe. 3 a.m. inventory, taking stock of me, everything I am and everything I'll be. 3 a.m. inventory, honest and clear, the sum of all my pages. I'm still here. Line item, people who still picked up the phone. Line item, I was never really alone. Line item, I made it through the hard parts twice. I'm still here. That should suffice. 3 a.m. inventory, taking stock of me, everything I am and everything I'll be. 3 a.m. inventory, honest and clear, the sum of all my pages. I'm still still counting, still standing. That's the balance. When the morning comes, the audit will be done. The things that weigh and the things that lift, and the final total will be worth it. 3 a.m. inventory, closing up the books. One more honest count before the morning looks. 3 a.m. inventory showed me I'm okay. Not perfect, not finished, but still with enough soul to make it to the next accounting night. The night has done its work, and so have I. The inventory's taken, the spiral's dried. The texts are sent, resting in their drafts, and everything that needed to be left, had or cried about, has had its time. And now the pillow's ready, and so am I. The long night's finding its deserving close. Finally sleep, finally sleep. The night gave everything it had to give. Finally sleep, finally sleep. The morning's going to show me how to live. With all the things that came up in the dark, now processed, now integrated, now a part of who I am after the long night through. Finally sleep, tomorrow I'm made new. The guitar's going back on its stand tonight. It did the work, it does, it did it right. The songs came and they said what needed said, and now the music's putting me to bed. Finally sleep, finally sleep. The night gave everything it had to give. Finally sleep, finally sleep. The morning's going to show me how to live. I don't know what the morning's going to bring, but I know I'll face it after sleeping. Whatever comes, I'll meet it rested now. The long night taught me something, showed me how to stay in it, to not run from the dark, to play guitar until there's light. Finally sleep, finally sleep. The night gave everything it had to give. Finally sleep, tomorrow I'm made new. Letting go now, eyes heavy, finally. This is what the all-night sessions give you. Not just the exhaustion, but the clear view of yourself that only comes from staying up until the honest things appear. Finally sleep is the reward for staying. Finally sleep is what the night is for. Finally sleep, finally sleep, finally sleep. I stayed with everything the night would keep. The guitar sang the things too deep for speech, and now the night has nothing left to say. Finally sleep, finally sleep, finally sleep, and I am complete. Finally sleep. stay awake. Every thought too heavy for its own sake. The pillow's right there, but my head won't land. Too much going on to understand. Heavy head, full heart, empty tank. The combination's doing what it wants. Heavy head won't hit the pillow right. Heavy head has had a heavy night. Everything I've carried through the day has made its way into my heavy head to stay. Heavy head, heavy head. The weight of being me is enough said. Heavy head, heavy head. I'd sleep if I could get the weight out of my head. I've tried the warm milk and the cool and dark. I've tried the meditation and the spark of letting thoughts go one by one, they say. But every thought just found another way. Heavy head won't hit the pillow right. Heavy head has had a heavy night. Everything I've carried through the day has made its way into my heavy head to stay. But here's the thing about a heavy head. It means you live today and didn't flee from everything the day required of you. A heavy head is proof you came all the way through. Heavy head, okay, that's enough. The carrying itself is testament to tough. Heavy head, let go of all your things. The guitar carries what the night brings. Is quiet, nothing moves at all. The curtains barely flutter, nothing falls. But in here where the quiet has no say, there's volume I can't turn down or away. Strange how the room can be so still, while everything inside runs at full. Quiet loud, silence outside, screaming in a cloud inside my head where no one else can hear. Quiet loud is how I've lived for years. The world sees calm, the world sees fine, but quiet loud is the permanent design of everything I carry, everything I hold. Quiet loud is getting very old. I've sat in rooms where everyone could sleep and watched the ceiling counting mine to keep the thoughts in line, the feelings in their place, while everything inside ran at full pace. I've become an expert at the face that says I'm fine while running from the race. Quiet loud, silence outside, screaming in a cloud inside my head where no one else can hear. Quiet loud is how I've lived for years. What if I just let the inside out? Not at anyone, just the release of the weight of holding quiet over peace. Quiet loud, tonight just loud and not so loud, and I am proud of every quiet loud night I've survived. Just needed what the guitar takes. Quiet loud has found its outlet now. Quiet loud becoming just the music. Nothing held back, nothing left unused. Quiet loud, I finally feel right. Quiet now, actually quiet. Finally quiet. I've written it 100 different ways, and different lights on different kinds of days. The draft folder has a novel in it now, of things I need to say but don't know how. The send button sits there patient as a priest, waiting for the courage at the least. Last text unsent, last text unsent, all the things I meant and never meant to keep. Last text unsent, living in my phone, a letter to the person who should know. Everything I've been holding back for months, everything that didn't make the stunts of everyday conversation, everyday pretend. Last text unsent, waiting for its send. Sometimes at 3 I open it and read the clumsy true thing that I actually need to say out loud or text or somehow send. But then the morning comes and I pretend that everything is fine between us here, that nothing needs unsending fear. Last text unsent, last text unsent, all the things I meant and never meant to keep. Last text unsent, living in my phone, a letter to the person who should know. Just the truth in the draft. Last text unsent, maybe tonight. Last text unsent, maybe I just might. Tonight, the last text unsent is the longest silence. The last text unsent is where we hide. What would happen if I actually sent it? Would the world end, or would it just begin? Last text unsent, sending it tonight. Everything imperfect, everything true. Last text unsent, it's on its way to you. No more last text unsent, living in my head. By 11 I was thinking it again. By midnight it had friends. By 1 a.m. the thought had built a city I was in. One thought leads to 3, leads to 15. The spiral has its own momentum, mean and fast and hard to catch once it began. Spiral, spiral, going down but feels like mine. Feels so much like mine. At 2 a.m. the spiral draws the line between the me that sleeps and me that stays. Spiral's got me for another 1,000 days. One conversation replayed 10 times through. Each replay finding something worse I knew. The spiral finds the angles, makes them grow. It's not facts, it's dealing in, it's fear. Dressed up in the clothes of things I've said this year. Spiral, spiral, going down the stairs. Rooms below, rooms down there. Spiral, spiral, one thought at a time, adding up to something that's not mine. But here's the thing about the spirals, and it always bottoms out and starts to mend. There's always a flaw, there's always the break where the spiral gives more than it can take. Spiral, spiral, found the floor again. Every spiral that I've ever been inside eventually ran out of room to hide. The spiral isn't real, it's just the shape that fear takes when I feel. Every time found the flaw. The spiral isn't permanent, it's not. It's just the noise my mind makes in the spot between the going to bed and the going to sleep. It spirals hard, but I'm the one I keep. Spiral over, spiral done for tonight. Found my way back to the surface, found the light, and I'll be fine by morning, I know. Found the floor, coming up. The dark outside is thin to something less. The absolute of midnight giving way to gray pre-dawn, which isn't quite a yes, but isn't quite the no of yesterday. Almost morning is its own country, between the old night and the new the sky concedes. The lights are what the dark no longer needs. And I've been awake to hear the first one sing, which means I made it through the whole dark thing. And there's a quiet victory in staying through. From the start of dark to the first morning blue. Almost morning, the night had its say, and now it's a journey. Almost morning, every long night ends in this returning to the edge of another day. Almost morning, I'll be okay. I don't resolve the things that kept me up, but something about surviving to the dawn tells me I can carry what I'm carrying on. Almost morning, the night had its say, and now it's a journey, just surviving to the light is victory The sky is changing, almost there. Almost morning. Every all-nighter that I've ever pulled, every dark stretch where the silence holds, every almost morning gave me proof that I could make it, I could see it through. Almost morning, everything the night revealed is sorting into something I can work with in the day. Almost morning, I am made of tougher stuff. Almost morning, almost, there it is. I'm fine, I say. I've said it so many times, it's worn a groove in every sentence line. I'm fine, I say to everyone who asks. I've gotten very good at wearing masks, but every time I say it, something slips. A little more of what is real just dips below the surface, where it lives alone. The weight of being fine is its own kind, a special kind of tired in the mind that comes from holding everything together, performing okay in every weather. The weight of being fine will break you slow. It doesn't come all at once, it grows until one day the weight of being fine is heavier than anything you'd find. And just admitting you are not. I'm fine, I say, and go back to the room and sit with all the things I've kept in bloom. Behind the mast, the ones I tend alone, the garden that I grow when I'm at home. And maybe fine is true in parts, I'll grant, but the whole picture needs more than one slant. The weight of being fine is its own kind, a special kind of tired in the mind. The weight of being fine will break you slow until one day the weight of being fine is heavier than anything you find. I'm not fine tonight, and there it is, the truest thing that I have said in this long line of fines that fill the calendar. I'm not fine, and somehow that feels singular. The weight of being fine is lifting now. Something in the honest is a door. I'm not fine, and I can finally begin. Not fine. That's fine. That's fine. Not fine is just the door to what is true. Not fine is where I finally come through. The weight of being fine is gone tonight. I set it down and I feel almost right. Not perfect and not fixed and not all there, but lighter than I've been. I'm not fine, and isn't that just great? Not fine, better than fine. We've met so many times, the dark and I, the same ceiling, the same 2 a.m. sky. The dark knows all my patterns by now, the tossing and the turning in the how. Did I get here again, this familiar place? The dark just nods, it knows my face. There's comfort in the things that always come back. The old familiar dark knows every track. Old familiar dark, you're back again. Old familiar dark, my oldest friend. You don't demand anything of me, just sit beside me in the not yet free. Hours before the morning makes its claim. Old familiar dark, I'm glad you came. You hold the space for everything I keep, the things too heavy and too deep for sleep. I've cursed you plenty, old familiar dark, resented every sleepless night's remark that sleep was never something I could trust. When you were here and thinking was a must. But somewhere through the years I made my peace with all the nights you wouldn't let me cease. And now I almost welcome what you bring. The old familiar darkened everything. Strange how the things we fought become our own. The old familiar dark has been my home. Old familiar dark, you're back again. Old familiar dark, my oldest friend. You don't demand anything of me, just sit beside me in the not yet free. Hours before the morning makes its claim. Old familiar dark, I'm glad you came. You hold the space for everything I keep. The thing's too heavy and too deep for sleep. The guitar sounds different in the dark somehow, more honest, like the dark allows. The notes to mean exactly what they mean. No performance, no one watching the scene, and just me and strings and the old familiar air of a room at 2 a.m. going somewhere. Slowly undemanding in its own time. The old familiar dark in this old rhyme. Old familiar dark, you're back again. Old familiar dark, my oldest friend. You don't demand anything of me, just sit beside me in the not yet free. Hours before the morning makes its claim. Old familiar dark, I'm glad you came. Oh dark, still here, still welcome. I used to fight you every single night, pull every blind and flood the room with light. But light just showed the things I couldn't fix, while dark sat patient through my bag of tricks. And slowly, slowly I began to see that old familiar dark was helping me by being what the light was too bright for. The old familiar dark was opening doors. Old familiar dark, we understand each other now. Old familiar dark, I've learned to allow you your space in my life, your hours, your claim on the nights I need to be undone and unnamed. Old familiar dark, stay as long as you need. Old familiar dark, in you I find the seed of everything I'll carry into day. Old familiar dark, you showed me the way. Old familiar dark, until next time. Old familiar dark. I can't see the end from where I'm standing. The path I'm on has gone around the bend. The dark is thorough, nothing's close to landing. But I'm still walking toward the hypothetical end. Somewhere in the dark, there is a clearing. I've been told this and I know it well. Somewhere in the dark, without the doubt of needing light to know which way to go. Somewhere in the dark I already know. I've been here before. The dark has its own geography, a terrain I'm learning year by year. The landmarks aren't visible, they're felt instead. A sense of where I am without the fear. Somewhere in the dark, I'm finding my way. Somewhere in the dark is the coming day. And isn't that the thing about the dark? The only compass left is in your heart. The head gets quiet, lets the heart take over, and the heart has always been a better rover. Somewhere in the dark, I'm finding my way. Somewhere in the dark is the coming day. I can't see it yet, but I know it's there. Somewhere in the dark, I'm becoming aware. One foot, then the other, somewhere ahead. I've been so afraid of not knowing where I'm going that I forgot that going is the thing. Every step in dark is still a living. Somewhere in the dark, that's where I am. And somewhere in the dark is good enough. Somewhere in the dark, I found the clearing. Somewhere in the dark, the light appeared. I didn't need to see the whole road clearly. I just needed to keep going, year by year. Somewhere in the dark, I found it here. Found it. Somewhere in the dark, found The night is getting shorter at both ends. The dark is thinning out around the bends. I've been awake so long, the night feels small, like I've used most of it and now that's all. The hours I had to think are almost through. The window, to be honest, closing too. And I'm running out of night to sort this out, running out of dark to move about. There's something urgent in the almost dawn. The night's permission slipping, almost gone. Running out of night, running out of dark, running out of the cover after midnight's mark. Running out of night to be undone, running out of time before the morning sun claims the hours back and files them away. Running out of night, almost into day, and I haven't finished everything I came here for. Running out of night. settle. The edges of the hard stuff still unnettle me as much as when the night began. Running out of night without a better plan. But maybe that's the lesson that it teaches. The night runs out before the quiet reaches every corner that you thought it would. Running out of night is understood by everyone who's ever chased the dark, trying to resolve by dawn what daylight broke apart. Running out of night, running out of dark, running out of the cover after midnight's mark. Running out of night to be undone, running out of time before the morning sun claims the hours back and files them away. Running out of night almost into day, and I haven't finished everything I came here for. Running out of night, but needing just a little more. The birds are starting up their pre-dawn set, a sound that means the night's not over yet, but close. The way a song is close to done, you can feel the ending coming, everyone. And I lay the guitar down and close my eyes. Not finished, not resolved, but otherwise okay with being partial and undone. Running out of night means I'm still the one. Running out of night, running out of dark, but I was here, I stayed until the mark. Running out of night is just the cost of taking the night seriously. Never lost, just unfinished, which is fine enough. Running out of night means I was present through the tough and quiet hours. That's all the night requires. Running out of night, and I kept the fires. Almost morning, night running thin. Still here though, still in. Every night runner knows this feeling well, the bittersweet of when the dark starts to dispel. You didn't solve it all, you never do, but you were there the whole night, that's the truth. And truth is what the night was always for. Running out of night and wanting more is just the sign that something in the dark was worth the staying, worth the sleepless mark. Running out of night, but I used it right. Running out of dark into the coming light. Not finished and not fixed, but somehow through. Running out of night into something new. The morning takes the night and puts it where all the nights that help me go somewhere I carry forward without knowing how. Running out of night, and that's okay now.